Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about why coaching isn't my main job and why it's not my real job. Um, so I'm kind of just going to ramble. There's a couple main reasons. The first one is I've always coached. I've coached even when I was young. I've coached skiing, boxing, and over the years, like business, friends, like relationships, you know, basketball, whatever. I just like teaching, and it's always been a passion of mine, which is to teach. And I think about like Richard Feynman, who's like a famous physicist, and teaching is a really good way to learn something. And I'm a naturally curious person. So if you want to learn something, you have to learn how to explain what that thing is as simply as possible so you can teach it effectively, you know? And that's uh, really like the main reason why I start coaching other people is so I can learn faster at that thing and really make sure that whatever I'm teaching is valuable and I can actually stand on what I'm teaching. Quite often I'm wrong, but that's one. That's basically why I do coach. Another is like super um, basic as well. It's because I just like providing value to other people. It's such a good feeling. Like I understand, I don't have children, but I understand what it's like now to why parents get so excited watching their kids succeed or get the thing that they want after so much hard work because it feels better sometimes than your own success watching somebody else and helping them along to get that success and or even just like putting in the effort. So living through other people can actually be better than like living for your own thing. I know it seems like crazy, but at least for me, I can't really speak for other people, but it's definitely super fulfilling to help people achieve their goals and be part of that community and then empower them, you know, however small that part is. The other reason, I guess those are the reasons why I do coach, but the reasons why I don't coach as a main job in Apex is because the first one is time. I'm really cognizant or aware of how much time I have on Earth and how little I have of it. Um, my favorite person in the world, who's very old, who was my great aunt, she just died. Um, Literally yesterday. I guess that's the reason why I just said, fuck it, I'm going to start making these videos. And she always kind of drilled into our heads, just from example, what it's like to live a good life and to live the life that you want and make sure that you spend your time wisely. And for me, spending my time wisely is through other people and with other people and helping them solve their problems or just being there for them, right? Most of the time, you don't have to um, give them advice or solve the problem. You just have to be there for them or with them, and that can be enough. But yeah, I just think about my time on Earth and why I want to spend it in doing certain things. And for coaching, I've always wanted to coach part time because it is like for me a hobby, like the way video gaming is a hobby, the way dancing is a hobby, or reading is a hobby, and I don't really see myself transitioning into a way that it's like a full time job for me. I'll put in sometimes full time hours, like 30, 40, 50 hours a week for coaching if I'm like really dedicated to a team like I am now, right? Because it's necessary and it's required. But I still don't see it as a full time job. The second reason is it's my why I don't coach as a main job is because I already have a job and I write books for a living. I am a ghostwriter mostly. Sometimes it means writing entire books or entire series for authors or publishers, and then they put it under a pen name or their own name. So I have to be kind of hush hush about that. Other times it's advising authors or publishers and helping them restructure things. I can get into that some other time, but that's my main job. And I love that job. I love that, obviously more than coaching, or else I would be coaching instead. And I'm very good at that job, and I like it, and it fulfills me. And I get to be very flexible with my time. Like that job, I get to put in like literally a quarter the amount of time that I do for coaching, and I make way more money, right? I guess that leads me into my third point is I, in order to become like a full-time coach and like quit my other job and dedicate like all of my time into coaching, then maybe not all my time, but all my work time into coaching, I would have to um, make money. How do I say this in a way that's not like arrogant? It's just like true. I would just have to make money that the Apex scene doesn't have. Maybe if it was League, if I was coaching League of Legends or Counter Strike, you know, or maybe even Dota, though those communities might have more money where it might be worth it to coach. But as of now, 2025, and the release of this video, and the recording of this video, there's not enough money in Apex. Even like the top paid coaches, I know this is going to sound so arrogant, like really arrogant. Even the top paid coaches, even the most well paid coach, it I have a pretty good idea of what their salary is, and that wouldn't be enough for me to transition from my real job um, to Apex. And it's not just about the money; it's about the time too. Like to be a really good coach, like one who's not full of shit, which I'll get into in another time, is it's really really time intensive. I don't think people understand, even coaches in Apex like really understand how much work goes on behind the scenes to be a good coach. Like I've talked to NFL coaches, I won't say who, but like even like technical coaches, they'll spend fucking hours and hours preparing for a 15-minute talk with their players, or even just like one player, and just making sure that they've refined everything because they want to respect the player's time, you know? And there's just like such a high level of coaching that if I were to give it my all, like 100% dedication, I think that's what would be required of me. I would have to spend a ton of time researching and making sure that I'm prepared for my players. And the amount of time that I do now with 100 Thieves, I definitely try to give it my all with the limited time that I can give them throughout the week. Right. And as we get closer to LAN, obviously I'm dedicating more and more time to the team because it's necessary, you know. Like I'm currently in Cambodia and they're a North American team. And they're so I'm literally sleeping on an opposite schedule. And again, because of my day job, I wouldn't be able to afford the time and money to do that. Right. If you talk to anybody from 100 Thieves, like they'll understand when I say that I'm not doing this for the money, you know. I guess that kind of circles back to why I do coach. At least 100 Thieves. There's two main reasons. One is because Phony asked me to help originally, and after Bronzy retired, 100 Thieves like approached me, and I pretty much told them flat out, like, hey, I don't know if you understand what you're asking me to sacrifice, but Phony is my friend. And I don't know if a lot of people can understand this, but I really, really value my friendships in a way that I don't think most people um, hold themselves to. And I know that sounds kind of mean, but if a friend asks me for help, I'm going to do everything that I can to help them. And he asked me for help. And I felt that if they just kind of went at it alone, it would get worse, you know? And yeah, I thought I could help and I could provide value. The second reason is because I think this team, this iteration of the team, which is Phony, Evan, Verhulst, and Jen Burton, I think they had the potential to be a new dynasty team, like old TSM or Dark Zero slash Falcons for a time. right? They genuinely have that. And there are a couple of things that they need to work on and improve at. And there are clear weaknesses that we need to address, and we have been addressing. Currently, we're the most consistent team when it comes to scrims, but I'm very skeptical of scrims. Like, I think if you're stunting on people with scrim stats, you're dumb. Like, I think the thing that's going to matter is boot camp scrims, like land scrims and land itself. Like, that's all I care about is just like land and like winning land. You know, that's my goal. Um, but yeah, I can't really think. Oh, the other reason is another, I guess, bonus reason why I don't want to coach as a full-time job, or at least I'm hesitant to, is because the scene is really, really young, and I think I the kind of people I would want to work with have to have like a really open mentality to learning and improving rather than just putting in the hours. And I don't think most pros really have that. Everybody says they do, and they think they do, but they genuinely don't, right? And yeah, I guess I'll get into that another time when it comes to like emotional maturity of like pro gamers and stuff. But yeah, those are the couple main reasons why I don't really want to uh, go full time with coaching, at least for now. But I'll always be coaching. I'll always be trying to help people, and I'll always, yeah, help however I can. Like, and again, we're getting closer to land. It's about to be December soon. Land's in mid-January. So I'm going to be putting in full-time hours, but like mentally, I'll still be doing my other job. That's like how I associate and how I make money and like pay the bills and help people in my life. All right, cool. I don't really have anything else to say. I feel like after I shut this off, I'm going to come up with more ideas to say, but I'll just say it in the future. Thanks for hearing my rambling and have a good one. Bye.